How you doing, baseball fans? This is Ed Lucas, and I'm at Yankee Stadium, Old Timers Day, and they call me an old timer, but I don't think of him as an old timer. David Cohen. David, nice to have you with me.
Thank you, Ed. Always a pleasure to be with you.
David, I'm doing a story on adversity for the Yes Network, talking about overcoming things, and of course, you had something that you didn't even know what it was when they told you that a couple years ago in your shoulder.
Yeah, I didn't even know what the word aneurysm meant when I was diagnosed with it, and it was a big challenge. But I had a great support group here, and I was able to come back. I was desperate to come back. I didn't want to let my career end on that note, and I was able to come back and win a couple more World Series because of it.
When you found out what it was it scary? Did you look it up and say, "What is this?"
I had no idea what it was. I'd certainly heard of it before, but to me, it was more of a life-threatening type situation. Fortunately for me, it wasn't. And I had great medical care. Columbia Presbyterian's a great hospital. Dr. George Todd is a vascular surgeon that fixed me up and got me back on the field. And fortunately, my career didn't end right there. I was able to come back.
You realize that Columbia Presbyterian Hospital, where it stands today, is where the first Yankee Stadium was in 1903.
I'd heard that story before, but I haven't really thought about it in all these years. But it is remarkable to think about the history of Yankee Stadium, even before this particular Yankee Stadium, as we're in the last year here.
Talk about Yankee Stadium, what it meant to you, and being torn down.
Well, it means a lot. There's so much history here. So the Yankees are defined by their generations, back to the 20s with Babe Ruth, and 30s and 40s, and Lou Gehrig and Joe DiMaggio on up to Mickey Mantle in the 50s, and even Mel Stottlemyre in the 60s, my former pitching coach, and Reggie and Goose of the 70s, and Nettles, and then on to the 90s with the teams that I played on. And it's really remarkable to see those generations reach back and touch each other, especially on a day like today when you have Old Timers Day.
It must be special just to be with some of your players, as you say, and the World Series teams, having them come back here for the last time.
It is great. It's also nice to see that, even the 90s Yankees, even though some of those guys are still fairly young and not considered old-timers, respect the game and respect the Yankee tradition to come back and put on the uniform and intermingle with guys like Don Larson and Al Downing, and the list goes on and on, Gene Stickmichael. I think we always had an appreciation for that when we played in the 90s on Old Timers Day, and we love to see the guys come back and put on the uniform, and I think that's why you see a lot of the 90s players here trying to pay their respects.
Now you're with the Yes Network doing the broadcasting. You do a great job.
Yeah, it's been great. It's nice to be back in the game. I've been out about 5 years, and just to have a hand back in the game on any level, to be a part, feel like you're a part of something, part of a team, really feels good, and it's been a pleasure to be back.
David, always a pleasure being with you. Thank you for taking out the time, and best of luck all the time.
Yeah, thank you, Ed. Always a pleasure being with you.
Thank you.